sure it's rolling.
I'm alert.
We do. Okay. All right. Let's kick off this Heritage Festival Committee meeting, July 24th. It is 5:33 p.m. We're just going to start off, and this is Dale. You've never been to one of these, so this is just a lot more informal. So, pipe in if you have questions or whatever as we're going through. So, car show. Let's start that off. Off-site registration conversation.
I think our plan, I didn't print the map again, but I think our plan is solid.
Yeah.
As long as we have a tent, table, and a porta potty over there. Well, I've heard a lot of good things about the map on the back. When I went to a few car shows, people were very grateful.
Yeah.
So
Basically, that's what we're bringing them on research drives. I think we get a tent, and I would. Is Janae coming to this meeting at all?
she's texting me right now. So she is not coming tonight, but she will be at the next one.
So far, we got Holly and then Carolyn probably for registration.
And I'll be at registration.
Double, triple check, but yes.
Okay. And then I'm working on the kind of the whole,
Sorry, thank you.
categories, class categories, and
Okay.
that kind of stuff. I should have those wrapped up probably the next week or so.
Okay.
I'll get those over to you guys, so that way at least we can get a game plan of how we want to.
Gotcha.
Thank you.
Can we maybe get together a number count of how many we need in the different spots, like how many registration, how many you're gonna need for parking, just so we know if we do the volunteer dinner again. That way this year we know the numbers, and then we know to have more of a direct conversation with what you want to have happen.
Didn't we have numbers last year? Didn't we? Right, and I know obviously we need to add to everything we thought we needed last year, but didn't we?
Yeah, I have a volunteer spreadsheet.
Do you?
Okay.
Somewhere.
Okay, so
Can you get that for our
Yeah.
next meeting? Okay.
and then we'll obviously increase those numbers because I know nothing was ever enough.
And then, were you guys gonna buy, like, new walkie-talkies, I think, just like PDA walkie-talkies or something? I wasn't sure if that was still on. One would work.
I feel like it was helpful.
Do you?
Yeah.
I never ever heard my walk. Maybe it didn't work,
So they didn't
but I
work.
never heard
They
it.
were
Never
also
used
right
it.
under the speaker.
Right? Yeah, it was so.
And I know we used DPWs last year too, and then remember they had problems with the ones that we borrowed too, when the batteries went, they didn't think they were going to. But I really think if we need something from the registration desk to the parking people, just because to let either know groups that are coming down or what's going on.
Will they work that far? I don't know anything about walkie-talkies.
Depending on what we get, they will work that far. I don't know. Does anybody know how many DPW has? So the issue we had last year is we got some from the fairgrounds, but the fairgrounds, whatever reason, didn't work together, and then they obviously didn't work with what we had with the DPW. So as people got handed out, we had two sets of walkie-talkies, and people thought they were talking to each other. They didn't work. So I don't care if we have to spend money to get some, just to have.
We could just have the fire alarm go off every time.
I like that idea. That'll be like Angela, pick up your phone. That's
Yeah.
what the siren means. Mhm.
I mean, if we can have access to the DPW, great, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Or do we just buy some?
Or why can't we just use our cell phones?
If you want to just use cell
I
phones,
mean,
that's
I-
fine too.
I certainly don't mind giving people my phone number. I mean, it's.
I'll be honest,
all
I
over
did
the
not
internet.
hear my phone
No.
one time during it, but I also didn't hear the walkie because
Right.
where
Well, I
we
feel
were
like
at.
if someone had like a question for like Andy or like my dad, like I don't know.
Because really, I think at least one point, I think it would be like, if there's like a car, like, let's say, as an example, like Jonathan's up there kind of crowning them and saying, all right, I got 10 coming down to Bob. I think at least if there was, at least those people had comms, to at least know what's
Yeah.
getting shipped
Yeah,
back
we-
and forth or something, you know?
Yeah, we kind of need to know what's going on, what's coming down from registration, whether it's a group or like individual cars. You know, 'cause we want to try to park the groups together, and the individual cars, we just park them wherever we can.
No, we're not
And
parking groups
also,
together.
on that note, I do have 2 volunteer bodies. One guy helped us last year, and I got another guy that's gonna help us out this year. So whether he does parking or whether he does something else, you know, I told him, I said, you wanna help out? He said, yeah.
time were we? I think I was there at 4. But yeah, 7 is when registration opens, so probably 6.
I think we met at 6 or 6:30.
We met
I think we
at
met the volunteers at 6:30.
Yes.
That way we could give everyone direction and be ready for 7 when we could get on the road.
I can at least check prices on walkies and then we can make
Well,
Yeah,
My thought was gonna be, let's find out how many DPW has. Let's test them out one day and see if they truly work, because we've got time to order if we need to. And then if we need to order, let's order.
Because I think it worked out well, like you said. You guys are calling fine, but when it became involved,
Sure.
it just got
Yeah.
too many people having
Yeah.
talkies and stuff like that.
Yeah. And I don't truly like should,
Mics open and that.
And if we're gonna have them, we need to be very specific on who
and
is
should more
doing
than
them.
5 people really have a walkie-talkie? No, like
Right.
No.
certain people need to be point, and if you have a problem, you go to that person. If that person can't solve it, then they walkie Wayne or Andy or whoever is in charge of what they need help with.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't need that many of them.
No.
So let's check on DPWs and do a test run, and I'll go stand at Research Drive and you can be downtown and we'll see if they work.
Deal.
Those should work, because I think those work off the repeaters that are on the,
Okay.
there, they should. Legacy, do you want to talk
Oh.
about dash blacks?
We got way off track.
Yep.
Dashplex, Legacy's doing again, and the license plate awards. Patriot, I think, Wayne, did I text you this?
No,
Sorry.
I know we were talking, but I don't know if there
Hey.
was an outcome was yet.
Yeah, so
I gave you the parts
Legacy,
list.
so I did, last year we did 400 Dashplex. I know we say only the first 200,
Yep.
300. Last year we did 400 and we had none left over. So this year ordered 500.
And that will match what we're gonna do keychains too as well with them. Okay, gotcha, perfect.
Very nice.
So I did 500 of those, and then they're doing 30 of the license plate awards, the best in class. And Patriot is putting a box of parts aside for us. Pete said he'll text me when they're ready, and I can come grab them, or you can grab them. So,
Carolyn did text me. She will do registration.
and
And
bring friends. Like
I
this
know a friend of hers did come and was very helpful, and I think she enjoyed it. I said, well, you ask your friend if she's coming too. I don't remember who she was now, but
year. Terry Grove.
I thought it was Terry. I just wasn't sure.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's one of those things to back up the registration too. Do you guys think this year, should we do something where it's computer automated, some sort of thing?
Yeah, Janaea had a whole
That's what I was
idea,
wondering,
and
yeah,
she said she's been working on it, and she has a plan. So that way she can enter it, and then I don't have to enter 500 slips of paper the next.
Do we need power?
Yeah, wasn't that?
Possibly, but we're gonna buy a portable generator,
We are.
For Jeep and cruise nights.
or possibly.
So for Jeep and cruise nights right now, she runs her Jeep the whole night for the sound
With
system,
music.
which we can't do.
all
So
4
we're
hours.
either gonna get one of those, battery power stations or a quiet shoecase generator. We don't need a ton of power.
No.
But we just need enough to run if we gotta charge laptops or phones or that thing. Like my generator I have up north that I charge my solar with, it'll go into quiet mode and you can barely hear it run. So it'll run almost all day on less than a gallon
That
of
would be
gas.
nice too. We could have music up at registration too then.
Correct.
We could put the
You
speaker
have
up
something
there and have music, and they could be able to plug in a laptop and
Right.
charge
Well,
phone if need be.
and speaking of, you have that speaker up there that has a mic, and if you have to shout for anybody,
Yeah.
you could use that.
Random thought. I wonder if anyone would be interested in bringing a griddle up there for a fundraiser and serving
Parking.
It'd be
food
stupid.
while the guys are standing there
It would,
registering.
it would be a moneymaker.
Oh, food.
Right. Well, let somebody else run that, but if they're interested,
No,
why
that's what
not?
I'm saying,
Yeah.
but since we're not, like, because usually we do
Trap-
registration downtown.
Trap team want to do that?
That would be up to those two. I'll be busy. We'll all be busy.
messing
I
with
think
you
not.
guys.
Yeah, do not volunteer any of our volunteers.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. No volunteering. The volunteers
Right,
already
I
volunteered. No, that's somebody else.
No, do not. do
How,
that.
I mean, really, how long from them parking their cars till we get them down? How long are we thinking? What?
People were at registration for, hopefully, since it's
And now
offsite,
that
it's gonna be
registration is offsite,
different, but I think we're gonna,
some of
and
the
I don't
old men
think,
are gonna be there at 5 a.m.
Yep.
You can
and
guarantee
I also,
that.
we're not gonna send down one car at a time.
Right.
I'm waiting till there's like
Yeah.
significant amount, send them,
Okay.
line back up. Because parking is gonna be a nightmare if we're just sending.
Right. So they'll probably be there for, I'm just thinking if that's an offer we extend to somebody to do.
And they could show up at 6 o'clock or 5 if they want to, but I would say
Bring a
6.
Blackstone and start.
Yes, sir, Mr. Dale, sir.
Mr. Chairman, do you have a site in the industrial park where you're going to do this, or you're just talking about setting up on the street?
So the cars are going to be parked on the street off to the side, down the street. Terry at Gearmaster said we could use his parking lot for any of the other stuff we're trying to do. So that way we could set up the night before. We're not clogging up any of the road.
Well, I was thinking that the Spring Dynamics owns the building and they don't utilize it. They have a huge parking lot that we could probably run a cord out and set up, like you said, ahead of time. The owner is a good acquaintance of mine, and I could, I'm sure there would be zero problem with that.
Okay.
And maybe even then access to a bathroom.
Okay.
That'd be nice too, to keep all their stuff there the night before too.
Right.
Check it out.
Yeah, if they're not using it, Terry already offered his space, but if there's nobody there anyway, and if by chance we could use a bathroom, that is now, we don't need an outhouse down there.
Yeah.
I'd still
We're
put an
absolutely
outhouse
putting
down
a
there.
porta potty down
And
there,
maybe
because
let
if
our
any of the
people-
guys wanna, I'm not letting random people walk into, I wouldn't feel comfortable.
There's
with
a
that.
field.
Yeah.
There's a field.
Well, I'm sure they'll use it.
Spoken like a man.
I've went golfing with girls before. You can handle it. All right. Is that good on that part? Do you want to move to entertainment tent?
Sure, that's all the same.
Nothing's changed with that. Family Traditions
Wait.
Friday.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, sorry.
Nope, you're fine.
Family Tradition Friday, Wayne Hanlon still opening. Sunset Boulevard Saturday, EQS Production, and then Cornhole Tournament, Mr. Blake Bunch.
Yeah, so I had my cousin, he's making up a flyer right
Oh,
now.
awesome.
So he should have that done within the next couple of days. I did have, like, kind of a few clarification points. So I did make one set of boards that I was donating. I didn't know if that was a better to have as a first place prize, or if that should be something that should be put in the raffle. And then figure it out from there. Because I only did make one set of words and have it split up between a team. It's kind of
Right,
weird.
yeah.
Right?
So unless the team is like a family of some sort, then you gotta figure out a way to split the set of words.
Right. We'll raffle off your boards. That's a good
We
idea.
will raffle them off and then we
Yeah.
can find someone to donate.
I figured if, Ash, she offered to go downtown with me, see if some of the local businesses and stuff wanted to give like a $25, $50 gift card. Figured those can go to like first, second, third place prizes. I planned on, depending on how many people, obviously, figured $100 per person for first place, 50 per person, second, and then 25 for third.
Fine.
Sounds great.
I talked to
Perfect.
Caden. He was going to do a basket of stuff. Is that still?
Is he?
That's what he said.
Well,
Or
probably.
maybe you said that.
I don't know. Well, I
Or
just,
no, he said it. I mean, just an idea. I mean,
know
if
he
he's,
offered to help me out.
he probably will. I don't see why he wouldn't.
yeah, I mean, that's something you could use too. So just if you're thinking through it,
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I just wanted the main thing was the cornhole boards. I didn't know if that was better to leave as a first place prize or if it would be better for a raffle.
Like you said, because it'll be 2 people winning and they can't really split up a set of cornhole.
I think you
boards.
should raffle
I
it.
think that's a good idea.
Like raffle it during Heritage or just?
Like
with
in like the
board?
raffle
raffle
thing.
With-
baskets.
Like, yeah.
With
Yeah.
the, put your ticket in. Mhm.
yeah.
Like either way, I was gonna
Yeah.
donate them. I just didn't know
Yeah.
which one would be
Right.
preferable or.
Well, that'd be a good way for those guys to sell or buy some of those raffle tickets too. So, yeah, I like the raffle idea because you're right. You
So
can't.
I wasn't against either one. I just figured $100 for each first place prize. I figured was probably enough, and depending on how much donations go to businesses and stuff. I guess pricing and stuff for prizes will be determined from there.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Sounds
Did
like
we decide if we were charging a fee to do the cornhole?
Yes, so I wanted to do either $10 per person or $20 a team. I figured that kind of puts into the prize pool. So I figured if we're doing $100 per first place, you're gonna have to have the money come from somewhere. So I figured the $20 in there. We have like 20 people that are in there. That's already $400. It's easily enough to split up between the prize pool, and then it also goes to funding the boards that day as well.
Cool. I think there should be a fee because that way, people sign up and they actually show up when
Right.
they pay money. So most of the
Right.
time, still sometimes they don't, but I want it to be a flop.
I figured it'd probably be easier to do everything cash at the day of the tournament, just because having to deal with everything prior is a nightmare on itself. And then I think we decided on 1 o'clock for the games, so that people in our show can also participate.
Yeah, and we wanted to get that done early enough for.
Yeah, I can't. Did it start at 3 last year or 4?
It was like
and
4
it was
or
going and it was
5,
pitch black
4.
out, and I was so like, what time?
Yeah.
Yeah, we did. It was 4.
It was 4. It was 4.
Yeah.
Having it at 1 o'clock as opposed to the later in the day was a little bit better.
I'm great with that.
Thank you.
Yeah,
you for
thank you so
running it.
much.
Moving on to location events, correct? Entertainment tent? What? Would you-
Everything is in the same place.
Everything's the same place. So entertainment tent is going to be next to the Pocket Park. Again, utilizing the main power structure that's there. And then obviously incorporating the Pocket Park in with the tent. There won't be any fence around that area during the day, so it'll be nice and open for people to walk around. We'll end up probably fencing off that night to control. And if we do head charge, cover charge for the concert that'll be in there. Yes, sir.
The beer tent, state law requires that it be completely fenced.
My understanding during social district, it does not have to be.
We did. And my experience is they always did. And they got to check IDs at the door, of course.
For the concert part, do we need it for the social district part?
No, this is for people coming in to drink beer
Right.
at the beer tent.
Right. Can we get clarification on that? Because we were told under the social district before that we would not need to fence it because of the social district licensing. Now, we were going to fence it for all the evening activities just to kind of control how many people were there.
That would be a great departure from what I'm decades of being used to. So we'll follow up.
Let's work through that. Yeah.
So part of that too for the tent, what are we thinking as far as like hours and who's using it when? I know obviously we're gonna do the cornhole around like 1. Could be open around
It's gonna open at noon again, I believe.
9. So do we want to use it for noon for like, is that gonna be for like, rest, like anyone to use, like public to eat food? Or is it gonna be?
Yeah, because it's just gonna
bands
be
and stuff?
tables and there's no bands because we'll have the car show DJ speakers right there.
And hence that's what I was wondering, because I was just
at-
wondering if that was gonna be part of like.
But like, Family Tradition was there early to set up last year.
Remember we promised
We have
the Rubes.
the Royal Rubes that are performing at 3,
I have to look back at our
I
notes, I don't
believe,
remember.
3 or 4.
Well, that's what I was wondering too, because that's why I was kind of wondering, do we want to have a tent that's next to that one, or, because that's why I wanted to see, are we going to be able to use part of that for the awards or
Yes,
all that other stuff? Because that would probably run us till 3:30, 4 o'clock-ish.
I think we started awards at 3 last year.
Yeah.
I think even if we're not using the stage, I think if we're using the back half of the tent to do the awards, I think we should be good.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like that is,
Yes.
in the morning, someone can start setting that up again for awards and things like that. You know, it's like off-site area, I guess, you know, for questions that are gonna come in, things of that.
We could
nature.
also have all of our raffle items. That tent is giant.
That's what I was kind of wondering.
Like
is that,
along
yeah.
the perimeter, you know what I mean?
So you brought up good. So noon it opens technically.
We need to make a schedule for the tent.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like its own separate schedule.
Right. Yeah. So it's on. So like 1 p.m. would be the cornhole. You know, what time the concert starts, what time award starts.
Time the rubes, or we told them they could go. I don't remember.
We got kind of watch these stuff boards, you know, make sure that the Royal Rubles are on stage. I'm sorry, did I kill the name? I'm sorry. But anyway, I mean, just, you know, like you're saying, have a schedule so that, you know, we can tell everybody, hey, the trophy presentation starts at 3:30 or, you know.
Well, no, I agree, and that's why we got to do it.
Because
To that point,
It's kind of rude to interrupt something that's going on with something else, because you got a band trying to play, you got people trying to talk, and between the two, it's just not
Right.
gonna.
Right.
Bouncing back.
that's why we're doing the schedule. Yeah. To that point, judging's going to have to be done by a certain time. There won't be any exceptions.
You guys can't be in
So,
notes.
right.
And
Yeah. So yeah, no, that's the whole point of running the schedule. Just that way we're sitting to a time frame. We'll work through that.
My note on the Royal Rubes from May when they came and talked to us was 4 to 5 p.m. I don't know if
I
that's,
was thinking 4.
Let's
and I
double,
was
triple
hoping
check,
3.
but-
So, but 4 would be okay because we would be cleared out.
Yeah.
Sunset
that'd be
Boulevard
better.
doesn't start till 8, so they shouldn't need to get on before
before
5.
5, yeah. And just
Especially with sound production will already be set up from Friday night.
clarify with the Rubes that it's 4, and then I would reach out to whoever it is, I can't remember, and ask
QS.
what time they're gonna start setting up. So
EQ,
we make sure no one has no disagreements, you know.
sound production, you mean?
Yeah,
Okay.
whoever.
I feel like Sunset Boulevard was there really early on Friday though, now that I'm thinking about it.
They were there about 6.
I really don't remember.
No, I think they were there
No.
earlier.
That was all the guys with the sound production. They were there early. But the band
That was
guys,
also when they set up too.
No, the band is the one who came and said, we need more stage. It was the lead singer.
maybe he showed up
I think
early.
he was there at like,
Well, so check with
All
them
right,
for
check
sure,
it.
so we know
3.
that,
yeah, I will.
and if we have to move Rubes earlier and figure out an alternative, and we'll figure it out.
Right.
We'll handle it.
Registration, that's down like we discussed. Lineup is down where we discussed. Vendors, we're still looking on Mill Street, right? So that's not moving. How many vendors do we have there? All right,
Currently, we have like 6 or 7
okay,
that have sent their forms in, but I've heard from several people that they want to or they have forms on the way, so.
okay. Do we know roughly how much room we have for them? Okay. So I got approached by Almont Project Graduation that would like a tent area if we can. In the past, we haven't charged the schools. If everybody's good with that, we won't charge them again. They'll have their cooler cheer. They also asked if they have the tent, could they also be on the crowd, possibly selling tickets? I don't think that's an issue.
I'm fine with it,
All right, I'll let her,
especially since we're not
we're not doing it.
a raffle cheer, so it's not like it's,
Right, not
have
competing
at
with
it,
anything.
kids. I'll buy some tickets.
I know it's in their cooler cheer and make a better one.
Yeah, I'm not tackling that. All right, I will let her know that we're good to go on that one. Vendors, food wise, entertainment tent for both nights. We have Mr. Italy. He was here last year, right?
Yes. All 3 of these were here last
All
year.
right. Great Lakes Eats and Treats and Motor City Hot Dogs, all 3 from last year. Festival Saturday, Polish Mania, the Carnival Food, and again, the Great Lakes Eats and Treats again. So those are all set. Oh, vendor boots,
And if anyone has a food truck that is not competitive with our local businesses that they want me to reach out to, let me know. those were, I didn't want to do pizza or hot dogs or anything that our restaurants are doing during the day on Saturday, so.
Vendor, it says vendor booth, new forms completed.
Yeah, I just didn't update that. That was, you can just delete that.
Entertainment tent, Roots is doing the entertainment tent this year.
Just the only thing under that is if anyone has any ideas of groups that may want to work the beer tent for him.
Yeah, so the Lions Club decided not to work the beer tent for us in a landslide, I guess, victory. So we,
Bond vote.
yeah. So we now have the availability to offer it to local booster clubs, school places, churches. Dale, yes.
So will the group that handles it bring their beer vendor?
No, they are there just to work for labor.
So
they
they're
will get a
simply
donation.
handling the move a keg, replace a keg, serve a keg.
Correct.
And how many beers do you have?
How many?
How many types of beer?
Craig's ordered
know
that,
if
I'm not
Craig
sure.
decided.
Okay,
Yeah.
Yeah.
just curious.
Yeah.
I think the plan is to keep it simple.
Yeah, typically like 5.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
Beer, and a couple seltzers.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
but
good.
so Craig is not doing cans. He's gonna do his vendor is gonna do bring in a truck that has taps.
Absolutely.
So they're just basically they're strictly gonna do that, and I guess it's still to be determined on the pricing of what he was gonna donate to them. I don't know if it's 40% or a flat plus they were getting tips, but that was what they were looking at. And I'm just gonna spitball this. Maybe it's 1,500 for one night, 15 for another night. Plus they get all the tips. Let the booster program or whoever's doing it promote the fact they're there to drive up the tip revenue. That way it's less out of Craig's potential. So that again, that was the conversations. But now that they have officially backed out of it, we're going to be opening it up to one. I know Trap Team is interested in at least doing a night. I think we can't do Friday because I know all of our kids are tied up in football.
Do you only have to be at least 19 to serve alcohol, or at least, or ring people up, or 18 for alcohol? And like if you're selling, do you have to be 21 to pour the beer in the tent?
We have to find that out.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure you do.
I'm pretty sure we
Yeah.
do.
Yeah, it's gotta be, in order to serve alcohol, you gotta be 21.
Yeah, I believe.
Well, you don't have
so.
to be
Well, you
21. You just, you 18 or older to be able to do it. But I was just wondering in terms of being able to get the license, if you, I mean, the people in the tent should be 21. So I didn't
So
know,
that-
not just be in
yeah.
terms of drinking. So if
Yeah.
you would have to be over the age of 18 now and just be 21.
We'll confirm it. The license
Yeah.
is going to go through Craig, so we
Okay.
can double check all that. So again, the business owns it, the business has it. They are strictly there just to help with the labor. Craig will have a couple of his people on staff. Even if it was going to be Mikey's, they'd have a couple of their people. These are just extra people, like you're saying, change out kegs, pour drinks,
Yeah.
maybe collect money, what have you.
Yeah, I just didn't know if you had to be, even if you're selling the ticket, like helping to sell the tickets, if you had to be 21 to be in the tent or not.
It would kind of
Sense.
make sense.
Yeah.
to
Right.
Just have it.
Yeah, for sure at night, and we're going to double
Yeah.
check during the day. For sure at night, we were going to fence it off just to control the amount.
I need to find out if Craig wanted to do a cover charge with cups.
Yeah, I was thinking about that too. Did he want you to find cups?
Are they serving pitchers?
No, it's
No, single beer at a time.
single beer at a time.
Okay, good.
Yeah. And that the thought with that is, and they'd all be stickered and labeled for the social district as well. So we'll
But if they're in, well, I see what you're saying, social district versus inside the fence.
correct.
So,
Correct.
Okay.
So now if for some reason we have to fence it and people can't leave for whatever reason, the way we were told is they could technically leave if they wanted to, right? The cover charge was for the band, not necessarily to drink. If they can't leave, and we'll figure that out, maybe he could do pictures at that time frame. So
I'm just saying my experience from doing several of these is you gotta have a lot of them.
yes,
So,
You mean people wise?
no, pitchers.
Pitchers, yeah. Yeah.
For the best. Remember
I-
when, anyone here, when we used to, yeah.
Well, I
Pictures.
can tell you, I've got about 40 pictures from the Armada Fair. And we didn't even drink. That was just the kids rounding them up at the end
I
of
have
the
like
night.
a dozen of them from
Yeah.
Heritage Fest Pass.
Right.
Yeah.
But most of the time, the vendor, like Anheuser-Busch does the Armada Fair, they supply all that. So all of them, they don't even get reused. They
Yeah,
get
mine say
tossed.
Bud Light on them. I think.
Yeah. So we can verify that with Craig. As we work through the fence, no fence, we'll work through that too.
A lot to get through here.
An hour.
Oh, yeah, we have all of your maps. I forgot.
Oh, Lord, yes.
Sponsorships. I have stacks of forms there with, it's the sponsorship form, the raffle, and the car show award. If anyone wants to donate, I pass out a ton of them. I have a couple of car show award checks and forms in, and I think I have 3 or 4 sponsorships. So far, I have no raffle items though, but that's okay. But I have a ton of forms if anyone wants to take any. That's it.
Package raffle, you're gonna borrow my wife, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Right, so make sure you get a hold of her.
I have a number.
So just timing wise with everything going on.
Yeah.
What else do we have on that end? Nothing?
We're ready for the race.
Move-
Holly's
move.
itching for it.
All
Oh,
right,
I'm not itching for it now.
let's move to Holly's
How many do
race.
we have registered?
25 right now. 25, even 25.
So,
And some are 10K, some are 5K, some are fun runs. So
right,
across the board.
I had someone message me or message the DDA page on Facebook asking she was going to register herself and her son and wanted to know if they could run together if they were both running the 5K. I know. I was like, yeah.
Oh,
She
oh,
said she
yeah.
didn't know if the groups had different start
Yes,
times.
no. I was thinking, and this is something I need to run by Bob. Should the fun run happen at a separate time so parents
Be with their kids.
can be with their kids for the fun run?
That's what I was thinking too.
I thought
because
about that too. I need to
depending
email
if I'm
Bob
down
and see
there,
how
they're
other
not gonna
people
wanna
do
drive.
it.
And then who's going to watch those kids while the parents are running the rest of the 5K?
Yeah, I don't know.
and then
Throw them in a
I-
stroller and push them.
I saw some heads nodding that that's a good idea out there.
His head was not in. I feel like you're looking at your wife because
I
who else
know.
would be nodding their head about a 5K?
That's what I'm talking about. She's ran them before, right? You think that's a good idea? Yeah, do it separate.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'll talk to Bob and get his recommendation on that because I've never done fun run in my life. So, okay. So I think only the people sitting at the table probably have these.
No,
Nope,
they were,
they-
I attached them to everyone.
Oh, cool. So there are maps of a 5K, a 10K, and a 1 mile. If you have any feedback, good, bad, indifferent, please give it.
In case you didn't know, Almont does not have any contiguous sidewalks.
We have no contiguous sidewalks
anywhere.
At all.
So we literally went out this morning and we're trying to look at options, and this is the best we could come up with, but we are definitely open to suggestions, change, anything better, safer. I'm all about it. But I do want to get these maps out this week because people are bugging me. And I don't mean that in a bad way, but people are anxious. They want to see what the route is before they even sign up. So
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's when we did the routes today was a couple things, try to minimize the cross street traffic, try to minimize the fast streets. So the first one you see is the 10K, right? It still needs to be tweaked a little bit to get to
I
what
already
6
know
point.
about tweaks. Yeah,
Okay.
I can
You can
put
do
some
that.
tweaks in there for us. I'm not worried.
So the first one, we have it starting at, so the entertainment tent is our hub for everything, going there down through the park. We thought it'd be nice to incorporate the park because a lot of people don't get to experience their park even though it's there. Going down through the park, through the sub across the street, there's already a stop sign there. It's only 25. So we thought that would be helpful through there. There is a sidewalk there. They would be running on the streets through that subdivision and then pop back out. And then they would basically be running up Kidder until they hit, and then they'll be running up the sidewalk all the way up Kidder through the school, back down Van Dyke, through the subdivision, and then finishing back through at the main tent. So again, trying to minimize flow of traffic. This is all starting at about 9, so it's going to be before the church services are. We're trying not to impede any of that. Trying to minimize where we might have to shut down streets. So that was the thought process with that. So the only time they're going to be crossing streets would be on Kidder, south of East St. Clair, again, stop sign, and then potentially crossing Kidder or crossing St. Clair at Kidder. The second route is the
5K.
5K. The only difference is, the nice part is they're going to follow the same route through there, but instead of going up towards the school and back down at Kidder, they're just going to finish off directly right into the start area in the downtown. Okay, and we took a look. We did the sidewalks. The sidewalks are kind of narrow. Things are overgrown. Things are a little heaved. But the nice part about East St. Clair is if we mark it with, I mean, it's reality, right? If we mark the south side of East St. Clair with some cones all the way down there, that's wide enough, at least to give people plenty of room to run down that side and really not impede traffic. We'll need some people with some spotters, but I think that'll be pretty good.
We need far more volunteers this year
For the 5K. But the nice part is they're going to be running both routes together. So now we're not trying to overlap too much, or we're overlapping more. So that way we're not running multiple different routes with that.
Yeah.
And then we'll have good signage saying, hey, 5K this way, 10K that way. We'll have that all marked. The last one, and this one, did I see that one?
Yeah, I didn't send it to you. No, I
Okay.
just sent it to Angela.
And this one basically still incorporates the park. But basically, it's down the street to the park
And then back
and then back around up Van Dyke,
up the sidewalk.
up the sidewalk. So again, still on sidewalks. Again, still incorporating downtown, still keeping everybody in vicinity. And that's just a quick little fun run. Still hits the park so people can see that the park is there. And again, it's not blocking lots of traffic, which is what we're trying not to accomplish on that day.
Yeah.
And again, what we probably will need is the only officer presence, I think, maybe if somebody can be right at Kidder, just for the whoever crosses Kidder. And that's only the 10K members. So I think that should be minimally. If we get good signage up there, I think we should be good. But if you have other thoughts to it, if any other thoughts, you want to have this back by when? End of this week?
Yeah.
And like this week, or end of next week?
No, I'd like to publish it by like Friday.
Okay.
Plus also pricing for the races goes up on the 31st. So
Okay.
I'd like to get it out there so people can see it and remind them of the price increase one more
Okay.
time.
So if Dale, you have any thoughts, or I know we don't have the police chief yet officially, right? But if there's somebody we can run that stuff by just to make double checks, because we want to make sure we're dotting all the I's and T's with police and fire and whatever we need
When
for
will
this
we
year.
have a police chief council meeting?
That night, the contract will be on the agenda at this point. So theoretically, the next day.
Next day. Okay. So it's coming. So this Tuesday? No.
No,
No,
couple
next,
weeks.
Okay.
first Tuesday of August.
Would it be too early to start having some dialogue with him, or do we have to wait till after he's official?
I'll talk to him about it.
Okay. Yeah, if you wouldn't mind. The sooner the better. But anyway, if people look at that and have ideas, I think that'd be great. But I think it's the smoothest flow from what we saw today.
I'd still like to go out and I'm going to try to go out and like ride my bike and get a better feel for them. But yeah, as long as no one has any opposition to them or thinks they're terrible and has a better idea for me.
Yeah, the nice part of the subdivision, those are, again, wider streets. They're paved pretty well. There's not a lot of issues. There's not a lot of traffic. Again, the whole thing is trying to minimize people with traffic. Last year, we had them going down Tub Spring, that big hill. It's hard to see, and people are just idiots. I mean, the amount of people we had trying to block off for people, just so impatient. And it's 55 there, so we had a lot of people speeding through. We just don't want to run into that. So, which is partially why we're not using the fire hall anymore. It's just,
Although I will say, for being our last year, and being, or first year, having 55 road where we started.
And 10 volunteers,
Yeah, and
if that.
if that.
Yeah.
It went.
It went well.
It went.
I
Yeah,
think we
for
had
sure.
5 volunteers.
Yeah, I don't
Probably.
know.
Probably more like 5, yeah. Well, we had Kristen and
We
her
had-
mom,
Yeah,
Yeah,
the 3 of
that's
us, Carolyn, my BFF.
I forgot people were out.
Yeah.
On
true. That's
Yeah.
right. That's right.
Course.
Oh, that's right. We had a couple people.
So
We had how many? Hold on. How many runners did we have last year?
75,
So what do we think? We might double that.
I'm hoping.
Okay. So there's a good potential to have people there. Something to think about too is, you know, if we have 150 people there running, you know, we don't really have anything designed on for Sunday at the 10. So something to think through. No, what? Not for us. Like somebody there, like last year, we tried to have coffee or something like that.
Well, I did already, the time we met at the restaurants and you weren't there, I
Oh.
did the breakfast people. I warned them already.
Oh,
I said,
okay.
be prepared for Sunday to be a busy day as well. I said, after people get done with the run, I said, they're going to be hungry.
Okay.
I said, and chances are they're going to stay in town. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Directly after the race, though, we have to tear down that tent. So
We ain't tearing down a tent.
Well, it's coming
I mean,
down.
We,
that's what we did.
I know.
I know we didn't
I,
take the
not the
physical
tent. I know.
down, but
I'm
we-
teasing.
you
I know what you mean. Yep.
So,
Yep.
all right. Thanks for talking on that one. Let's see. Moving on.
I
Kid
just have a
zone.
question
Oh,
for that part.
Sorry.
Since we're gonna be allowing Project Graduation to have a tent and sell tickets, can we ask them to give us some volunteers for this race in exchange for that?
It's a great idea, Melissa. I like it.
Let's see why not. All right. I'll ask.
Yeah.
I'll text her.
Honestly,
Yeah.
Huh?
right.
I'll take.
Could we ask like, I know school's not in session yet, but can we ask like the track, there isn't a track coach though right now, is there? Oh, there is? Can we ask like the track coach if their kids would like to volunteer to help with the race?
I'll text you.
I think that's a great opportunity for them to get some community service. Well, we ain't giving money away. We need help. That's all. We're not paying for the help.
Hey,
We need free help.
But yeah, no, it's a good idea. I'll reach out to
Okay.
Janice when I respond to her.
Okay, thank
Yep.
I can, reach out to the new
Thank you.
athletic director too and see if he can provide.
At least get the announcement out the school for anybody, even if they're not affiliated. We are going to need help. So,
And we'll send that out to.
Because we will need a second water table. Not that I want kids directing traffic, obviously, for the race, but we need we need a second water table. Tony Thomas's family is doing one, but I do want another one on the 10K route. Well, I want one on the 5 and the 10. So, yeah, I need people to run another water table. So that would be good for the kids to do with a parent, maybe.
I think halfway through that 10, if they hit the water table on the first 5K,
Yeah.
the second water table actually
It could be in the school parking lot.
Yeah, because that's
Absolutely.
about halfway
Yep.
through. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Kid zone. Nothing new. Again, that's going in the grassy area that we own through the DDA parking lot behind Good Grounds. Yeah, so that way it'll be out of the way. It's central. You know, it's getting people in that area. Bounce house, petting zoo, balloon harness, face painter. Right, we're still staying with all those.
Can I tell everyone our exciting news? Bacon's Balloons and Decor had a giveaway, and I
Oh.
won it. So I'm using my winnings to have us a balloon arch and some balloon decorations at Heritage Fest.
Oh,
A big balloon arch.
Yeah.
I forgot about
I
that.
did too. Till
Mega Millions though.
I did not win the Mega Millions, nor did I win the Vinkers giveaway.
we still, be able to keep the kids safe
Yes.
there.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the whole
We
point
planned
of
room
that.
for you.
That now is a backdrop to that area. Now they can have their trailer and their supplies there. You can have that there.
We can have a fire truck there. If fire department is willing, I'm sure DPW wants to have a truck. I know they enjoyed
Yes.
doing that last year.
Yeah, they love
So can you put those on for that kid zone? Lion site
Yeah.
trailer, fire department truck, DPW truck,
Police, if they want to have
police
a
if
car.
they want to have a car there. So can you just put all that on there? So we're We talk through it every time, but that way we don't forget.
Right.
And that'll be the kids area. Awesome. I mean, really, that's all those items there. So we still have, about 40 minutes. Does anybody want to talk through what?
Oh, I don't know if this needs to be a board discussion or I don't think it matters either way. We talked about renting golf carts. Matt did finally get me an answer. He is willing to get all the contracts and whatnot necessary stuff in place to do it. He said $100 a day per cart seems to be the going rate, and that's what he would charge us. I also suggested if we didn't want to spend money, that maybe we gave him a sponsorship instead, and he would be okay with that if we didn't want to spend money.
Okay, how many golf carts do we need?
And that's what we need to talk through.
So that falls underneath this here, what the cost. I don't think that's a board. So, I mean, especially if he's willing to do a sponsorship and trade in lieu of, the big question is how many we need. I
Right.
think we need at least 3.
For which days?
Saturday for sure.
Saturday.
Friday, I would take one though, for when we're setting up and.
I would take,
So that's what, in one for Sunday, I think is fine.
2 for Sunday. I mean, at that size, I'm probably gonna have to run around with my truck, right? Do different things. Like golf cart probably won't help.
You have to, I mean,
I'm just trying to figure to get from point A to B. If I'm putting out like I had to last year,
mhm.
I'm not going to be there fast enough with a golf cart. So probably 1.
Go fast.
Wow.
You can make them go 32.
What are we saying? One
She's-
for Friday, one for Sunday.
We're debating if we need 2 for Sunday or just 1.
I'm just saying, do we need one in one of the subdivisions? Just kind of around. Are we going to have?
No, we're gonna have to have people stationed there.
We're going to have people stationed. So if there's issues,
And I know the fire department said they're happy to have a ambulance chaser for us again.
okay.
So yeah,
All right. So then 1, 2, and 1, or 1, 3, and 1.
definitely, I would say 3 for Saturday.
So 1,
Like
3.
Wayne should have 1, you should have 1,
So
and Angela
Brown
should have 1
sponsored?
probably.
Right.
I'll bring my own. So
Oh,
we're good.
Okay, that's right. I forgot you said you were gonna bring your own.
BYO.
Yeah, BYOC.
So 1, 3, 1 or 1, 2, 1. Whatever. Give them a bronze sponsorship, and we'll figure out whether we need.
I think you need one at the registration.
Right.
Probably one still lie down by me. At least, that's 3, so maybe one just could be.
Right.
or something,
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Let's do 1, 3, 1 just to be
Okay.
safe. So that's 500. And if he's willing to do it as a sponsor, then let's give him the bronze sponsor.
All right. I'll
Is that
talk
good
to
with
him.
everybody?
And then we can. I'll have him get the paperwork together.
All right. So
Is there
now,
an orange one?
I don't know. Probably not because they don't come in orange when he buys them. He has to make them orange.
I bet you we can get some decals made that we can pull off after the weekend. I would think, right? Okay.
I'm sure Francie could hook us up.
Right. We'll make something to make it official. What else? Is that it, or do we want to do kind of an open discussion on things?
Yeah, the big thing is obviously, for at least for the car show, but next week's obviously August, right? So when with signs going up in, next week, maybe, and then the week, start putting up our car show ones, and start seeing the third week, is now the big shows out here happening, so. we should probably get them up by-
End of next week, is that what you're saying?
I would agree. That they're up now for over a full month, and that's key.
The only problem we're gonna have is, have you seen all of the signs around
Yes.
here lately?
You just gotta go in front of them all.
So
All them signs.
Right.
Right there.
Yeah. the whole
I
thing.
would prefer to not be public enemy #1, but sure.
Why not?
So you can put one in my office. I won't be around. I will have an Armada Fair one up there, but just put it next to it. And I'm sure we can get a bunch up around here in lieu of all those other obnoxious signs.
But that's what I was thinking, the next week.
All the other signs, aren't those supposed to be down after August?
August 6th is the election, and they have 1 week after that to
Okay, well.
get them down, so that's another 2.5 weeks left.
So I'm just saying, you know, once the primary or the election's done, then, right, I don't go.
Are you thinking too?
I mean, there's also a 30-day before the election ordinance that has not been enforced at all by township or village, so for election sign. Sorry, Dale. Not you. I'm just saying that, like, those signs, the primary signs have been up for months. Yeah.
Yeah. So I would agree. I think getting them up sooner is going to be better. We could find spots for it. Like I said, if anything, get one on my office. So I'll have some T-posts there already for
Okay.
what's there. So we can get spots. I mean, ideally, if we can hit the four corners of Almont.
We did your office last year with the big one. We did in front of Binkiers with the big banner. We did Melissa had
It's
a
his
banner.
house. Terry Roach will
Terry
let us
did
do
one,
it at his house.
But he said he had to wait till after music in the park was over.
You think that you're going to do it again?
I don't know about that, but I can ask. Those were awesome.
Yeah.
Those are my favorite last
Fantastic.
year.
We
I was
could-
actually gonna get those posters printed again too
Yeah,
for the front of it, yeah.
well,
Please
I
ask
would find out. At least ask him.
I'll find out.
And then do we have a timeline on the banner for the fan night again?
Isn't it
It's only
3?
go up 2 weeks.
2.
Is that what we still doing that? Sure.
Yeah, the fire department still has it.
Who's handling the goodie bags for the car show? Is it you? Is
Uh,
it you? You? Okay, so.
I mean, we've been doing,
Okay, so I will have something from my company. Carolyn's lender will have something. I know that for sure. Just FYS.
Yeah, because honestly, like, YouTube, a full note ready too, but like, I'm like, the big vendors are just, they just are, even Milnes is like, we can't, car sales are terrible, we gotta back out this year.
Milna sent me a sponsorship check though.
Did he?
Mhm.
Yeah, so that's what he was just like, but for like little stuff like that, you just don't wanna.
you can either drop it off at Randy's.
No, none of us have our stuff ready. But
When
yeah.
you do.
Okay, I'll get ahold of you.
How much, hey, Wayne, how much stuff do you have?
Not much.
See, the problem is too, is they don't tell, a lot of these like big companies, they won't like say, hey, we're sending it out. You just, like, one day I'll walk out and it's like, oh, Castro drops it off on the porch, you know what I mean? It's not like those kind of deals. So it's kind of like they just kind of trickle in as you go, which sometimes, like now, especially makes me nervous because, you know, not getting a ton of, from the same vendors aren't really like, you know, they're not flying off the shelves. I mean, like, we got Summit, we got Castro, we got like some of the big name stuff, like the bags, the stickers, the bell tires dropped off some stuff, but you know, it's a little. You know, silly.
Do you have any suggestions of anything you would like to see in the goodie bags? Because like Tracy, Carolyn's lender, did ask me. She's like what? She said I'm real sick of doing koozies.
Yeah, no koozies, no
I know.
koozies.
No,
I said me too.
it was weird. Like last year, I got a bunch of people. They love those chip clips. They like the, you know, like the what do they call it? Those little screwdriver little kits. You know,
The peanuts.
yeah, like
Like
those
the
guys.
snacks.
Texas Roadhouse.
The peanut guys will do it, but a lot of like the knick-knack stuff, like little flashlights or little, you know, car stuff, you know, little glove box. Any of the stuff you throw in your glove box or car. that kind of
Band-Aids. Band-Aids.
stuff. Band-Aids, yeah, that kind of stuff.
Aren't old cars really investments? Just thinking, anybody involved in investments or things like that might come up with some sort of,
I can tell you cars are horrible investments.
I mean, a lot
I'm
of
just saying, that's where the money is.
Yeah, a lot of them, like Haggerty, reached out to Haggerty again this year, I haven't heard back from them yet, but
Yeah.
sometimes they would do like the same thing, they do their license plates, stuff like that, so Grundy was kind of still not sure yet. They put us on the list, you know, so, yeah, you know, it's like that with these bags, like, I hate to say it, but next year I probably just would rather just do a couple little things and that's it, you know, no bags.
Yeah, and I was gonna do some. Didn't I do something before for? No, I gave you money for the 5K. I'll see. I got a trinkets and trash thing, but it's all pretty high end stuff. So
With high end.
Oh, I'm not spending $5 a bag.
Right, I know.
But like the
You try to
cheapest
keep it
stuff is
under $1
$5
a
a bag. I can get MP3 or
How many
wireless
bags?
speakers and stuff like that.
What about those things that convert a regular cigarette plug to a OSB plug?
Yeah. wonder if
I
have
just
any of
ran
those.
into a problem with
That's a
that,
lot
not
of
having
free
one
stuff for people.
in a
It
car I
really
just
is.
picked up. So.
I'll have to see. It's been a while since I've been in that catalog. Let me see what I can get.
On the car show, is there a specification, minimum age, that sort of thing?
We had a class, we actually did,
Student driver, yeah.
yeah, we had a class for like a amateur class. Some kid that, you know, restored something or built something, you know, by himself, whether it was in his garage or up at the skill center. I think we had a class for that, or, you know,
Yeah, we have the student class. There's a total of, what is there, 24 classes?
27?
Yeah, there's like,
Yeah.
that's why this year I gotta mess with it, because obviously, we find obviously out here, obviously, we get more trucks than most
Like-
people do too, so we kind of play with it as we go, but yeah.
Yeah, like,
Class for everybody.
There's Corvette class, there's Mustang class, and those are broken up by years, if I remember correctly. There's a, there's a camper class or a miscellaneous
I
class.
didn't even get to see it.
Yeah. We had did we have a T-Bird class or did we scrap that one? Cause there was,
Well, they're like T-Bird Mustangs.
yeah, we had a Camaro class. We had, and again, some were broken up by years
Can we
too.
have a rat rod class this year?
We have
Oh,
one
we
last
did?
year. Yeah.
Guys, I don't get to pay attention.
Yeah. We had a rat rod.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's
we're
cool.
trying to- hopefully-
We had
That's
we had
cool.
an import class, rat rod
We had
class.
an import class.
Yeah.
Good Jaguar showed up.
Yeah.
Sorry, not car related. We should have Julie Johnson see if she wants to do a booth.
Yep.
Because I would do a infusion that day. I'm being dead serious.
I'm gonna text her right now. Yep.
Like a B12 or whatever.
Hell yes.
Banana mag.
Yeah.
Like I said,
Continue.
really, that's the only one.
Sorry.
So we have to sign, and I know obviously.
I was thinking about what a long day it
Sheets and
is.
stuff too, but is there anything you think that we could think of now that, I mean, I know we can't move on a lot of this stuff yet, but obviously for the roads and the closures and signs and stuff like that.
Oh crap, I have something
Yeah,
else I have
how-
to talk about. Go ahead, finish
Yeah, no,
yours.
No, and that's why I know, we were talking with Dale too, but that's why I just wanted to kind of see, we want to just kind of broach a couple ideas or thoughts before.
Before we talk about that, the township supervisor asked me to bring something up. He's very concerned with the people who live on Kidder and how the detour or bypass affects them. So he would like to know if we would consider, the village would consider changing the stop signs, like at the Allison and Kidder, if we wouldn't make that a four-way stop so traffic didn't get backed up, if it was only stop signs in the sub and we,
Are we talking about for Heritage Fest or due to the current construction?
we're talking about just for the car show
Okay.
for Saturday. And
No.
then he asked if I would reach out to the Pierre County Road Commission and see if they could do something about East St. Clair and Kidder,
What's the issue?
just for lane.
So he wants
And
us
not
to
have
take
stop
down
signs?
stop signs or put stuff
Or
over them?
switch them, like, so instead of Kidder, it's stopping at Kidder when it's crosses East St. Clair, putting stop signs, covering those, putting stop signs on the opposites.
Is he willing to forego that cost for the township to pay for it if he's concerned? I'm
Yes.
sorry.
There's no way that you can
Yeah.
ignore existing traffic control devices. So
Yeah.
we're not covering any stop signs or anything
Yeah.
like that.
Perfect.
That route was built, I was informed today that route was
What's
built
the detour for 50?
by MDOT
Correct.
to be specifically the M53 detour. It's not even a full day. So what I was gonna say when you mentioned that is, I've reached out and talked to the road commission. they're gonna loan us their, I think they call them Class 3 barricades, which are the signboards, so that a week in advance, we can put out notice on each end saying M53 will be closed Saturday, however long. I haven't seen a detailed timesheet yet, but that is already in the works with them. And
7
then,
to 4.
what?
7 to 4.
Well, yeah, however long it's gonna be. I don't know. I heard that you were required to get a permit to close the road. That would be through MDOT, and I don't know if
I
you've
have
done
it.
that.
It's approved.
Okay,
The
so,
only thing that has not been approved is the one from Lapeer County Road Commission.
all right,
to
so if
use
you'd
their bypass.
send me a copy of that approved one and remind me in an email, I'll make sure we get that staked down, because again, they've committed to me in email that they will provide those
I thought-
detour signs, so,
I thought you were on, I apologize if you didn't get it, I thought you were on it. Pam is the one who has to submit all of those. I don't get to talk to MDOT, I'm not worthy.
okay.
But I will
So-
send it to you.
We have, the new chief and I've already discussed it. DPW and I have discussed there will be significantly different barricading going on this year. It'll have a completely different theme and a very heavy-duty theme. So that's being undertaken. But again, I've been waiting to get the map and the specific time frames of the events so that we can plan that out. But the sooner the better that I can get what's scheduled hour by hour, starting Friday through Sunday, would be important. And I know
I
that's,
can give you last year's schedule if you would like it immediately, and that's gonna be pretty similar.
Okay.
time-wise, Pretty much.
I was gonna say, other than
Completely
the
similar time.
breakdown of maybe some intricate stuff in the entertainment tent, all the other timing's the same.
okay. Well, and this map is general, but I want to, which we can go over, you gave me this today, right, or yesterday. I want to go over like the kids zone. It looks like it's a square surrounded by streets, but I'm not familiar with it, and
It's
you
a
know,
parking, it's in the.
Parking lot.
Parking.
I would want to see that stuff. So again, we can prepare for the bigger things that we
So
have
what
coming.
kind of map would you?
Well, we can
prefer?
even take this one and clear the social district line off it and stuff like that, and then I would be able to see exactly what's where.
So
and
just
you can
want it like bordered instead of,
Drive me around and show them to me too,
Okay.
so.
Yeah, well, I would encourage, and I thought you already went out with DPW, or DPW already went out. I thought maybe with you. Maybe I'm wrong. I thought Brian already went out. Did Brian already go out with you and actually kind of drive this? No, maybe not. I don't know.
drive
Maybe
the what?
the route and the area and what we're doing. Maybe
No,
not.
I mean, Brian and I drove it a million times last year.
Okay,
It's on
maybe.
the same, he knows exactly
All right.
what to do this year, so we can definitely do that again. Last year, David, Brian and I drove around a few times.
I would go drive it around, and that way you can see. We do have another map she did of the actual overall route for where the cars are getting parked, how we're parading them down. Yeah, I would say it's been posted on the Almont on the Avenue
That's
for.
not what he's asking for, though. He wants
Yeah, but
like
that
a
would help.
satellite image and. so-
Anything additional would be good.
Right. No, I'm just saying, if it's helpful, like we have it out there where we're parking the cars and how we're parading them down. On that is the reroute around Almont, so you can see the traffic flow, where we're having the cars come into the car show, just to help with that dialogue, so you understand how it's going.
Well, and one of the things that I've mentioned is we want to work on emergency routes that'll be clear and, so the emergency folks know in advance from Almont and Lapeer County, so they're prepared if there's any kind of issue.
Right.
Yeah, because last year we had someone in that, he was refusing to get his car off Van Dyke, and we were kind of panicking, and sure enough, he showed up at the end there, we got lost. Took his Kaiser home,
Yeah, and this year, we're not gonna go south of, Teeds. So,
Everyone says it.
yeah, so
South of where?
Teeds is the last street on the left hand of the south or west side. And then Water Street is the last street on the east side. So we're going to keep it so if somebody has to get through, they'll be able to go Water to Teeds to get around the south side of Elmont. So that'll be open, just so you know. And then coming down Van Dyke, East Washington will be open so they can. And if we go north of East Washington with cars, it'll be single
No,
file
it's not Washington.
on the north side. If we go past, if we're going towards the bank, if we're stacking
We're
cars.
leaving. I did not know that.
Well, I mean, there'll be a barricade there, but it's something that can move real quick if we
Oh,
had
okay,
to.
okay.
Yeah, it'll stop flow of traffic, but it's not like there's gonna be cars in the way. So we're gonna be double lining cars up Van Dyke with a center open for the fire department. If we have to go north of East Washington with cars, they're only gonna be on the east side of the street, so that way it's completely open. If emergency vehicle does have to come down, they can either go right down Van Dyke or through East Washington. It'll just be a simple barricade, but that's just stopping the flow of traffic. Correct. But the actual way to get around Elmont will be Water to Teeds in the south.
But the problem I have and the concern I have is, I've heard about it from last year, is people moved and went around your simple barricades.
Correct.
That is not going to happen this year.
We appreciate
Because it'll
that.
be, hopefully it'll be a dump truck, or it'll be something along those lines to make sure people do not come into where there's
Well-
pedestrians and that sort of.
All I can tell you, I really appreciate that, but thank God for DPW because they are the ones who got those barricades out, and that was not
Sure,
anything that they were supposed to be
right.
in charge of. They just happened to notice that they weren't out and got them out, so.
Yeah,
I'm
but if-
incredibly thankful for
Yeah,
what
but having
DPW did last year.
more of a presence this year is going to be a huge help. It should make everybody feel a lot safer. And for community involvement, that's what the community needs to see. So I think it's going to be great. Yeah, and that's the commitment we need.
And I appreciate getting the road commission vehicles.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, because last year I did not get, I don't never know who's watching. I didn't get any help from road commission. I got lots of barricades to jump through, but not
Yeah.
barricades to help.
And I think a lot of it too, Dale, just so you're kind of aware too, what we also kind of ran into last year, because we had the barricades, it was like everybody that came down Bandon was kind of like, running right up to it before they knew they had to like turn. So that was kind of one of the thoughts was like, is there a way to curve it or something too, to kind of get people to already start diverting Van Dyke instead of just like coming right up onto it,
Well, don't forget, we also lost so midway during the day, the police officer who was stationed at Van Dyke and Huff restationed himself just south of the bridge in town. So there was no police presence other than a couple of kids down there trying to direct traffic. So
Literal children.
correct. They were there right in the beginning to shut the road down, but it wasn't long after they were. Yeah.
He didn't shut the road down, DPW did.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Never mind. Yes. There was no police presence. All right. There you go. But yeah, I appreciate your thoughts that you said it's only a day. It is really only a day. If somebody who lives off Kidder, I made it back and forth to my house to grab extra supplies all day long. Is it an inconvenience? Yeah, it's just a day. So that's my 2 cents. John, you're off Kidder. Is it
Not even
that
a
bad?
full day.
You're right off Kidder. Is it that bad? No. So.
We're gonna do more signs and then do for the DDA portion of it for more like here's your registration, here's this, here's the detours, I think, was our game plan. And just put a ton of signage up.
Talking about the flow of where the cars
you
are going.
saying, like signage to direct traffic?
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying?
I guess like between the two of them, yeah, one would be like, so that way the cars don't go the same way as the deep, I mean, obviously they're bad.
I'll definitely have
Yes.
registration.
Right.
I can have detour signs, but I think people aren't gonna pay attention to them unless they're legitimate traffic signs. I really don't think people are gonna be looking, I mean, I can have those, Francie can print
We
those
talked
too,
about-
but-
Yeah, we talked about
I
car
think there were
shows.
3 that we talked about to the entrance of registration.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he was saying do some for registration.
Right.
some detour
That's
signs,
what I
but
was just
people
gonna
don't
ask.
pay attention to
No.
our detour.
So.
No, it wasn't detour. It was,
So often they are going to want to just ignore the sign because they're coming to the car show and come right downtown. So there will have to be some way to direct them around the detour. So they come up and register versus just driving into the downtown
Yeah,
department.
I'm great with getting registration signs. I can get as many of those with arrows as we need to direct people. What I was saying was, I don't know if I want to print signs that say detour on them because I don't know that people who are detouring, I don't know if they're gonna be looking for my signs. They're gonna be looking for.
right. No, I think detour is left up to
Road
the,
signs.
yeah, the official. I think if we have two sets of signs that are out there, car show registration this way, and then Heritage Fest parking this way. Not pedestrian parking, Heritage Fest, what would we call that?
Heritage Festival parking.
Just call
Festival
that
parking.
festival parking, all right. Just that type of signage, just to differentiate, so that way people know that they can. So what again happened last year is people were actually trying to come to Heritage Fest, and we were allowing them to make a left or a right onto St. Clair to get into town, and they were being told they couldn't go. Actually, matter of fact, I went and removed barrier. People were putting barriers up that shouldn't have been putting barriers up. It was not us. We're blocking off traffic flow so people couldn't even get into town on purpose. So I went and took those barriers down twice. Last time I threw them in a ditch.
So I had reached out to GLTA and they said, as I recall, they would provide a shuttle from a parking area, which I thought we were talking about. Angela and I did a month ago about parking at the school and having the bus run all day shuttling back and forth. Is that still the plan or?
It's an away game, right?
Yes.
Youth football has an away game, so those parking lots should be open.
Yes, so we now can. The thing we're hinging on is if youth football was playing that day, it was going to be a
We
nightmare.
had to wait for their schedule to come
Right.
out because that parking lot is full the
Right.
entire day. if there's
So-
games.
Now we can do it.
Park on the field and the parking lot?
Park
I'm
on the-
kidding,
Yeah, yeah.
You could-
You park on the field, you're gonna sink.
I'm kidding.
Right, but if
Kidding.
we could park at the school and then use the school loop for people waiting, but we can definitely get that out there now.
I'm gonna double confirm it with GLTA. I've written that down.
Okay.
Again, with a time schedule.
Right.
And we're set, sounds like we only need Saturday versus Friday, Saturday. and Sunday.
Just Saturday. Yeah. And really for them, they could just come, well, we could work on a route.
The festival doesn't, I mean, car registration in the road shuts down at 7. Nothing opens until 9.
Correct.
So it's really 9 to 3.
Right.
That's it.
And then I'd go about an hour past for people still sitting at the entertainment tent or whatever,
Yeah,
right?
but Van Dyke opens back up at 4, so.
We could, depending on how we do the route, we could just, they could shuttle people back to their cars up Kidder. Something to think through. I wouldn't shut it off right when it ends, because people, the whole point is we want them milling around. And maybe find out from them what time they'll do it. But maybe those people want to stick around for dinner. Their car's parked there. They don't have to worry about all in town, and they'll get a ride back up there at 5, 6 o'clock. We'll see what we can do. And then find out if they're donating that or do we have a charge for it.
They didn't say last time. so.
Okay.
But I think it was donation, but I'll find out.
Okay. Just find out if we got a cost. To me, that's a good idea. What else do we have?
Obviously, we're bringing a lot more porta potties in, obviously, for downtown and obviously registration area. But last year, we had, on Friday night, people got wild and crazy, made a mess. I know we had a hard time trying to clean these things up the next day or they were not usable. So do you think that we could,
In what porta potties?
especially the ones back in Roots, some of them got like destroyed last year. Remember, people
They were-
didn't use them.
They came through, and the
they
contract is cleaning in the next day.
Yeah, they didn't, because remember some.
No, the contract is only cleaning on the
Yeah.
next day for the ones in the beer tent.
It was
Those
beer
are
tent.
the only
Correct.
ones that were supposed to be used
Right.
Friday night.
Because we tried, because Brian, we had to get Brian's son down there with the bucket, and It's kind of get one.
We should have,
Mop or
we should
something.
have them all cleaned
Yeah.
first thing Saturday
We
morning.
shouldn't need to have, okay, I agree and I will have him do it, but
No, that's
who
also.
is using them on Friday night? The only thing that's going on Friday night is the entertainment tent.
Well,
So
that was-
people were just going in there trashing them for fun.
Yeah, because when we were locking up the streets, people were leaving the
They're-
restaurants and at the
using
time,
the
beer tents on Friday. And there were kids in there and doing whatever.
Angela,
And even in the morning,
will they deliver the beer tent ones on Friday and the rest first thing Saturday morning?
or lock them, or we can lock
Or-
them.
We can
Way
lock
to
them.
lock
We
them.
can lock them. If we
That's one of
have,
the things I'm asking.
'Cause
Just-
I just think like,
I didn't even know about
it
that.
just stinks that we would have to pay a $30 per thing cleaning fee because people,
Well, that's why I hate to say that people are pigs. to be honest,
People-
you know?
They are.
sadly, people are idiots. At
So
the end
that's
of it,
what I'm
just
saying,
put the
is either we
30
have to
bucks.
have
yeah,
some-
I'll reach out to him. He's a local
Yeah,
guy,
because
so.
even like last year, there were so many people using it. and
I know.
There was
Just-
paper and that's, I was just thinking, do we have like something like on standby where
Well,
we have to have,
we didn't
We're
have,
using a guy in Elmont this year.
yeah,
so-
and last year,
That's
you're
all.
right.
That's all.
The contract was only for cleaning them in the beer tent because, again, at the time, that's all we
That's
thought we
we're
were
under the
using.
assumption, right, that-
Right. Who's going to use the,
Who's
whatever.
gonna use
but
a
I guess-
porta potty on a
I
Friday
go out of
night
my
that's
way
not
not
beer
to
tent?
use a porta potty, so.
So, all right, so just put it to have whatever we're getting cleaned. If it's 30 bucks, it's 30 bucks. Is what
Or
it
less.
is.
Except it's,
What?
last year, the car show ones, we only had 3. This year we have like 12.
Well,
So it's,
Costs of dealing with the public, sadly. Or we lock them, one of
Lock
the
'em.
two. Or we lock them. Either or, figure it out. I mean, one way or the other, clean or lock, I'm fine with locking too.
Or
Yeah, I'm just talking about a cheap lot, just get some zip ties, and the ones that we don't want people to use, like Friday, just put a zip tie through the hole. And then Saturday morning, just go around, cut the zip tie off.
I don't think
Could
people
you-
will cut them to get into
I
them.
don't know a man that doesn't carry a pocket knife, let's be real.
Everybody got pocket knives?
Yeah,
Or-
I'd have one in my purse.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you don't make it easy.
We'll talk to the
Talk,
porta
yeah,
potty professional.
yeah,
People
talk-
are using porta potties over using a regular restroom, then your judgment is probably not the best, so I'm pretty sure they're gonna cut through a zip tie.
How many what?
We have like, we only have one at registration at least.
Oh, it's our,
I already ordered them.
it's handled.
Yeah, I think we got a total of 12
I
or so.
got
We have a
3
boatload.
times the amount. So I got,
That was just
I
good
don't-
for like us.
I don't remember
on
now.
Our side, so we just knew what we're kind of had to work with.
yeah, I think I got 6 regular and 2 handicap, just specifically for the car show.
Down, okay. So
Yeah.
it's down there, okay.
No, 8. 6
down there.
regular but then the beer tent ones will also all be there too. Yeah.
One at registration.
one
And we might have a clean bathroom to use too for our people, maybe.
Else, yes, sir.
50/50. Is that discussed before I got here?
No.
Nope.
Checking,
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
You mentioned that you can get the license through, the DEA.
Athletic boosters,
Okay, well,
or I mean the school. If it's for trap, I would use the schools.
I'd say we should be able to use the school.
Yeah.
You just pulled the one for the other one.
I call this, you just call the state.
Yeah,
It's just,
yeah, it's just a form. Tammy can help with it. She's good at those.
but I didn't do it for the school
No,
though.
but we could probably use the school because the money, until we form the booster part, the money's going back into that account. So we could
That's what
double
I was
check.
saying. If the money's
Right.
going into that account, we should use that.
Yeah, I think we could use that. We'll work through it, but yeah. All right, so put that down for, how about we make one that says community goodwill or something like that? And let's list the fact of who we're promising that to. Like, we could list in there, APG is gonna be, doing a thing of cheer. Trap team is gonna do 50/50 on Saturday. Whatever else we're using, we can also record who ended up doing beer tent Friday night, entertainment tent. And that way we have it for any other goodwill. That way we have a record for it. So that way next year, if we get a list of other people want to do stuff, now we could kind of sort through, we did you last year, now we'll do this person, keep it fair.
Got it.
Cool. Thanks for the reminder. Anything else from everybody? We got about 5 minutes before the official
We
meeting.
talked before, do we want to have more now that we're in August? Do we want to have more check-in little meetings or anything like that?
Yeah, August, sorry, before
You
everyone
missed
got
that.
here, we're gonna
Yeah.
have one August 7th at 5:30.
So August 7th.
And then the 28th is our regular meeting, so we'll have one at then as well.
And then we're gonna start doing weekly,
Okay, so August 7th and August 28th.
Yeah.
right? All
Yep.
3 weeks in September, we should be meeting.
Is
Does
that good?
everyone agree?
All right, so all 3 Wednesdays.
In September.
Yeah, so the 4th, whatever those are.
2 in August, 3 in September.
Yep. Okay. Perfect. Anybody else got anything? Nothing? Nothing? All right.
Meeting adjourned.
All right, we're gonna adjourn the meeting 6:54 PM. Thank you for everybody's
Thank
insight and
you.
help.
Yeah, thanks.
It's the only way that stuff happens. What's going on? How you doing?